What is going on, everyone? Welcome to 5 Things You Need to Know About Cryptocurrency, brought to you by the Masternodes. My name is Ryan Prenders, the Crypto Guy, and my boy Nestor Sanchez is at the Bag Chaser. With this video, we hope to take you on a journey of 5 things you need to know about cryptocurrency and finance in order to get you ready for the cryptocurrency space. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. But before we can continue, just a quick disclaimer for you guys. The masternodes are not certified financial advisors. This information is intended for educational purposes only and must be independently researched. We ask that you speak to a financial advisor or do your own research when making any financial decisions. The masternodes does not take any responsibility for any losses in the market.
Now let's talk about why we are here, our mission statement here at the Masternodes. The Masternodes organization was created to give education and opportunity to our community because statistics tell us that minorities specifically have been at a disadvantage when it comes to financial freedom. Our goal is to provide necessary resources, uplift those around us, and create generational wealth for ourselves and our community. Our goal is to ultimately build a community of confident crypto investors. Now let's talk about who we are. My name is Nestor Sanchez, the Bag Chaser, and I've been mastering investing for about 4 years now. I would say a little bit over 4 years. My goal is to kind of teach people around me how to use it, how to become financially successful, how to be financially literate as well. I feel like obviously that stuff is not taught in schools, which is a shame, but it definitely needs to be taught somewhere. So I wanted to be that beacon of education, hopefully answer people's questions, help people out, and ultimately I want to uplift my community. Some of the things that I like to do, I love to play sports, I love to hike, I love to explore, I love to travel. And one of the things about cryptocurrency is you can make money on the go, literally from your phone. You can turn your phone into an ATM. And that's something that really inspired me to learn more and to teach other people.
Yes, thank you, Nestor. And my name is Ryan Prendez Rodriguez. I believe that anyone can build generational wealth. I know I have the skills and knowledge to teach others how to do so. The reason why I started investing in cryptocurrency was because I knew that cryptocurrency was the finance of the future. I just wanted to get ahead of the game so that way when the time came, I could teach others how cryptocurrency works. Another reason for me joining the cryptocurrency community, really just the finance community in general, was because I realized there was a lack of knowledge in my high school. I actually went to the same high school as Nestor and came to this realization with him one day that they didn't really teach us and prepare us for life as adults. They didn't teach us how to do our taxes. They didn't teach us how to start a simple bank account. They didn't teach us how to do our taxes. They didn't teach us how to start a simple bank account. They didn't teach us a lot of things that we needed to know about the finance space in order to be prepared for adult life. And so with Nestor, we came together and said, you know what, let's do something. We see the future of finance. We see the lack of education. Let's go ahead and learn all we can. So that way, when the time came, we could teach people about the future of finance so that way they're prepared to enter this new era of money. So the reason why I wanted to share this testimonial with y'all is because this actually comes from my first student, the very first person that I ever taught what cryptocurrency was. So this testimonial was written by Karen Chavez. Shout out to you, Karen, if you're seeing this. You helped me start my journey of becoming a crypto educator, and for that, I appreciate you. But she said the masternodes helped me understand what cryptocurrency is, how it works, and why it is important. They displayed a clear passion for helping others and showed they were well aware of what cryptocurrency is. They are nice and someone a person can depend on when one needs help. Again, thank you, Karen, for giving me the opportunity to be the first person that I ever taught what cryptocurrency was. I'll never forget that.
First thing out of the gate, we wanted to tell you guys is do not limit yourself. You can only make $10,000 if you believe you can make $10,000. You can only become a millionaire once you believe you can become a millionaire. Everybody takes the same steps to get there, but the difference between having it and not having it is your belief. So we want you guys to live your life with an abundance mindset, There are two types of mindsets. We got abundance and scarcity. With the abundance, you believe that money is infinite because it is, right? It can be literally printed whenever. You just have to grab it. You just have to get it. You have to have that information for it. But you're just understanding that, just because you get money does not take away from the fact that I can get money, right? Just because someone else has a Porsche does not take away from the fact that you can get a Porsche, right? So just having that mindset, you don't want to have a scarcity mindset, which is where you're kind of just surviving, right? You don't believe that there's enough to go around. And because of that, you're not living in abundance. You're not attracting money. In fact, you're kind of scared of it. So we want you to have that mindset of abundance, of joy, of ultimately being able to understand that money's everywhere. It's just about obtaining it. Next step is, like I said, you need to believe in order to achieve. You have to understand that it's possible for everyone. I don't have a crazy, financial family. I don't have a background of just finances. I did not go into the tech industry. So I'm just a normal guy who was able to learn this stuff because I had the right mentors, the right education, and ultimately I put myself in the position to learn from these people. So it's just about understanding if you're able to do it and really seeing other people do it who may be your mentors or, your friends, and really understanding that if they were able to do it, you can do it as well. There are steps, a blueprint that you can follow in order to become successful. Just being like that really goes a long way. And that kind of leads me to the next point, which is listen to people who you want to be like. Don't listen to people who, you could listen to them, but really don't take advice from people who you don't want to be like, because they're giving you advice based on their perspective and based on where they are. So if you take their advice, you're probably going to go more towards them, more towards their position to where they are. But if you want to be like someone, take their advice because their advice led them to that position. So if you don't want to be like me, that's perfectly fine. You don't want to be like Ryan, that's perfectly fine. But we got our information from mentors, from people who are above us and better than us. So we want to kind of utilize that mindset of only listen to people who you want to be like. And if someone else is talking, you could listen as well, but take their advice with a grain of salt. Now, we always want to ask, what is the most valuable asset, right? Is it gold? Is it Bitcoin? Is it the US dollar? Is it the SPX? What is the most valuable asset? And a lot of people get this wrong, I would say, because the most valuable asset is time. We do not know how much time we have left. If I asked you right now, would you take $1 million? You're probably going to say yes. But if I asked you, you take $1 million, but tomorrow you do not wake up, would you take that deal? Most people would say no, because guess what? Waking up tomorrow is worth more than $1 million. So time is more valuable. But what happens when we get more money? We're able to free up our time. That's why I believe money is so important. Now, let's talk about cryptocurrency. If you know what it is, well, here's a quick refresher. If you don't, listen in. Cryptocurrency is a digital currency in which encryption techniques are used to verify funds, keep track of transactions, all in real time without the need of a central authority. Now, let's kind of break that down. It uses encryption techniques. That's why it's called cryptocurrency. It's a currency that uses encryption. It's used to verify funds and keep track of all transactions in real time. So if me and you make a transaction, it is verified within the blockchain. Once it's verified, it can't really be unverified. So all of this is happening in real time. All the nodes across the whole entire network are validating that same transaction, putting that on the blockchain and writing it in the ledger. And it's all without the need of a central authority. Now, this is beautiful because this is what makes it so powerful. It is decentralized. You don't need a group of CEOs. You don't need a government to really tell you how much this is worth, if they're able to move that money, how to move it. You don't need other people to verify for you. The system and software does it itself. Now you got the central ledger. This is accessible to everyone and kind of keep tracks of all of those transactions, and that's called the blockchain. So you got blocks of information stacking on top of each other, making a chain of information and transactions so everybody can see what is going on in the space. It is decentralized. beautiful, and it's used to combat inflation with its coin caps. This is not every single cryptocurrency, but specifically for Bitcoin, there is a cap of how many Bitcoin can ever be created, and that is 21 million.
All right, now moving on to the 5 things. The first thing actually doesn't have to involve cryptocurrency, it involves finance, but it's still important for you guys to know so that way you know why you need cryptocurrency. This thing is, how do banks make money? When I first learned how banks make money, it absolutely disgusted me to my core because I knew that I was getting cheated out of potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. So banks practice a banking system called fractional reserve banking. This is essentially when banks hold a fraction of your money on hand and lend out the rest. On average, they only are required to hold around 10%. Now, this fluctuates. During the pandemic, they weren't required to hold anything in reserves, but on average, it's around 10%, with the other 90% being at their disposal, meaning they could do whatever they want with the 90% without your consent, because technically it was their money holding on to it just for like an IOU for you. So this is the first thing that I saw wrong. Red flag. The second red flag that I saw wrong with what banks do with your money is savings accounts. So a standard savings account on average only gives you around 0.03 to 0.04% APY. APY stands for annual percentage yield, which is essentially interest that you earn on your money when you leave it deposited in a savings account. For this example, let's say I had $1,000. If I had $1,000 and I left it in a savings account for a whole year, after a year, at an interest rate of 0.04% APY, I would earn 40 cents. 40 cents. It's crazy to think about. This is a second red flag that I saw. And the fact that they're doing whatever they want with my money, only required to hold 10% of that $1,000, so $100, and the other $900 they can do whatever they want, is insane. And these are just some examples of what they do with your money. So banks use your money to make money. So while you're earning 0.03 to 0.04% APY, keep in mind, not even a half percentage, banks are issuing loans to people and making 8.5%. They're issuing credit to people and making up to 30%. They're also charging you excessive fees, overdraft fees, service fees, processing fees, late fees, hidden fees, whatever it may be. You're getting charged money to hold your money in their bank. And that's our current banking system. Our current banking system is controlled by a board of executives. These executives sometimes have their own agendas in mind. And although they do have their customers in mind when it comes to policy changes, really at the end of the day, they do everything to please their stockholders so that way their stockholders are happy and the bank makes money. Because when the bank makes money, the stockholders are happy. So to them, in all reality, you're just a number in their system. You really don't matter that much. They don't have your best interests at heart. And it's weird because they're holding on to your money, but they don't have your best interests at heart. Just one example of why banks are a no-go when it comes to this new form of money. Thing number two. Thing number two is actually dollar cost averaging. So a lot of people are kind of concerned with, when I'm investing, whether it's cryptocurrency or the standard stock market or whatever it may be, people are very concerned with their investing. They don't know how to get started investing. So that's why they don't get started in the first place. So one of the easiest ways we found to get started was dollar cost averaging. So dollar cost averaging is an investing strategy that lets you consistently add to your position while getting the average cost of an asset. So when dealing with volatile markets or coins such as Bitcoin, you can manage risk by purchasing the average price of an asset over a long period of time. This can be done with the lump sum of money that is distributed over time or just through consistent investment. Sounds confusing? Let me explain. So let's say I had $1,200. Let's say, I got my first check ever and it was worth $1,200. I wanted to invest it all in Bitcoin. So what a normal person would do is they would take the $1,200, go to an exchange, purchase Bitcoin at whatever price it is and buy $1,200 worth at the same time. Now, this may be beneficial to them because they get their Bitcoin all at once and they can go ahead and track where their money is. Oh, I made, $10 today, or, I lost $30 today, or whatever it may be. But the problem is once they purchase Bitcoin, let's say they bought it for an average price of, I don't know, $20,000, they are now concerned with, oh, Bitcoin went up today, $100 or $1,000, whatever it may be. Oh, Bitcoin dropped today, $3,000, I'm losing money, this and that. So instead of worrying about all this confusion on when the best time to buy is and stressing out about the importance of buying at specific times, what you could do is you could actually set up a buying schedule so that way you're buying the average price of that asset over time. So now going back to the $1,200 situation, I have $1,200, and instead of me purchasing Bitcoin all at once, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take that $1,200 and buy $100 of Bitcoin every month. So that way, after a year of me buying that Bitcoin, I'm buying it for the average price. So this is how a lump sum of money that is distributed over time allows you to DCA, or dollar cost average, throughout the year. Another way you could do it is, let's say every paycheck you set aside 5, 10, whatever percentage you want, and you use that to purchase Bitcoin. You are still getting the average price of Bitcoin by buying some every paycheck, and you aren't worried necessarily about the current price of Bitcoin, where it's going, because it eventually is going to go up and make you money. So that's something you don't necessarily have to worry about. So this is just one method that you could use to help you get started investing today. Another thing to add is actually you could be more efficient with this strategy by identifying levels of fear and DCAing into those levels. Now, what do I mean by this exactly? So when it comes to levels of fear, Bitcoin specifically actually has a fear monitor. Right now, we're in extreme fear, meaning that investors are very, very worried about the price of Bitcoin, which means that some of them are worried about selling Bitcoin or are selling their Bitcoin in order to avoid further losses. So as Warren Buffett best said, be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. You want to make sure that you're buying into these times of fear. The whole point to investing is buying low and selling high. So when others are fearful, the market is low. When others are greedy, the market is high. So just something to remember when you're DCAing is you want to buy in times of fear, because most likely that's going to be the best price that you could purchase the asset for. Thing number 3, how do I get started with crypto? One of the most top questions I get is, okay, you know what? I learned about cryptocurrency. I like what I see, but how do I get started exactly? So you can get started on what's called an exchange, or a centralized exchange. But what is a centralized exchange? So an exchange is where you're able to buy and exchange cryptocurrency using fiat. You can exchange in different cryptocurrency pairs, such as Bitcoin and ETH, or even crypto for fiat, like Bitcoin for USD. These exchanges hold onto your crypto and your private keys. So these exchanges are practically the middleman between crypto miners and validators and the retail market. So whenever you want to purchase, Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever it may be, you would go to an exchange with your fiat and then exchange that for a cryptocurrency. And it's a fairly simple process. If you guys ever have any concerns about what that process looks like, feel free to DM us and we can go ahead and show you a video of ours that goes over how to use a centralized exchange. But what do you need to sign up for one once you jumped on the exchange? So you can actually get started with an ID and a debit card. Simple as that. There are apps that you could use to download that create wallets and give you access to your private keys. You can use those wallets to move your money in and out of exchanges. Then later, use that crypto with other people or businesses. There are even Bitcoin ATMs where you can exchange cash for crypto or vice versa. One thing that we always tell our students is to make sure you never leave your money on exchanges. That's one big no-no. Just because one, exchanges have your private keys, meaning technically they are like a quote unquote bank where they hold onto your money and have access to your money. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they use it for their own financial gain, but they still have control over your money. So what we recommend is to move it onto a hardware wallet, like a Ledger or a Trezor wallet, just so that way, your money is secure and in your physical possession. Now, what are some exchange examples? For example, we have Coinbase, Crypto.com, Gemini, Uphold, Binance, Qcoin, and so many more exchanges that you can go ahead and get access to today, 24/7. Remember, cryptocurrency is a 24/7 market. You can buy, sell, trade cryptocurrency 24/7. So it's just something to keep in mind whenever you want to get your crypto investment journey started. But one side note we want to let you guys know is we are not affiliated with any of these crypto exchanges. So please do your own research based off of region laws and crypto regulations wherever you are located. Thing number 4, why do you need crypto? So there's a lot of reasons why anyone needs crypto, but we decided to let you guys know about these 4. It's decentralized, it's an asset, you could BYOB, and there's privacy. So first, let's start with decentralized. So you could actually exchange value with anyone completely independently from banks. Why is decentralization so important? Well, decentralization gives you the ability to see exactly what's happening, not with just your money, with everyone's money. See, in a centralized system like a centralized bank, we have a board of executives that kind of runs the show. They see everything that's going on in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. They control everything and they have their money in everyone's pocket. Now, I'm not accusing anyone of malicious activity, but like I said earlier when we were talking about banks, you have to keep in mind these boards have their own interests at heart. Not even just their own interests, but they have their stockholders' interests at heart. They have to do everything they can to keep their stockholders happy. So that doesn't necessarily mean they have to keep your best interests in mind. Now, why is the decentralized alternative so important? Well, it's important because there's no board of executives. There's no one person that has complete control over everyone's money. Instead, everyone has the ability to view everyone's money. And with cryptography, it keeps everything anonymous. So decentralization and cryptography both work hand in hand to keep everything secure and open source, which is something I really love when it comes to cryptocurrency. It's the absolute game changer. So cryptocurrency can actually be an asset too. Crypto can be a deflationary tool due to scarcity and use case of the coin. So with Bitcoin, for example, you can only mine up to 21 million Bitcoin. Once all the Bitcoin is mined or created, that's it. No more Bitcoin could be created. It's not like the Federal Reserve where, if we're getting close to hitting our ceiling debt, they just start turning on the printers and print out more money. See, this is where inflation comes in. So a deflationary asset is something that actually prevents inflation. So instead of your money getting inflated and losing value, your money is actually remaining the same and just going up in value. So the hard cap on how much Bitcoin can be made is actually very beneficial to those that invest in Bitcoin. BYOB. And no, that doesn't mean bring your own beverage. It means be your own bank. You can use crypto as collateral to borrow money with lower interest. And you could actually also lend out your cryptocurrency for higher yield. So with cryptocurrency, it completely changes the game. The reason why it was created was because the original creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, realized that banks had too much power. So in order to give the power of banks back into the hands of the people, he created what's known today as Bitcoin. With this original idea of the first crypto in mind, now you see hundreds of thousands of crypto coins available today. But they all have the same premise, to be your own bank, which means you can use them as collateral and you could also use them to lend out or receive a loan with your money. So it's insane to think about how much crypto has come in the past couple of years and the potential to where it is headed. Finally, privacy. So when it comes to cryptocurrency, actually consumers don't need a social security number. They don't need a credit score or any proof of income to access this global market. It's available to anyone, anytime, anywhere, 24/7. If you guys have any more questions about why do you need cryptocurrency, feel free to reach out to me at Rye the Crypto Guy. But let me go ahead and pass it over to my boy Nestor.
Let's talk about how you can invest into the market. There are lots of different ways that you can make money in this space. Let's talk about some of the different ways that you can make money based on timing. Now, these are all kind of trades in a way. Some of them are short term, some of them are long term. You could see on the right side, we have short term traders, and then you have long term traders. Let's start with long term. So, long term, you can be a swing trader. A swing trader basically attempts to capture short to medium term gains in an asset over a period of maybe a few days to several weeks. You got swing traders can cash out and in basically within a few days, make their checks maybe within a few months, kind of based on how the trade goes. They use technical and fundamental analysis. Let's talk about position traders. These are, I would say, people who aren't going out of their way to do excessive amounts of research. They don't really care per se about the fluctuations within the day or within the hour. They really care about the long-term perspective of all this. So they're basically buying into a position or buying into a sell, and they're going to be holding this for a very, very long time, whether it be months or even years, right? They care about the long term, not interested in temporary dips. They're not focusing much on the news. They're focusing on fundamentals rather than something called technical analysis. And this is more of a set it and forget it type of investor. Hey, my price has gotten into the zone where I'm interested in buying. I'm going to buy and hold this for a couple of years. And then once it gets to X amount of profits, I'm going to take out. You know, it's kind of really long term. And then we're going to go on to the short term traders. Now let's talk about scalpers. Scalpers are types of trader that are very, very short term. They prioritize high volume off small profits, trading from really anywhere from 30 seconds to minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And they're focusing on the candlesticks within this time frame. Scalp traders typically make their money fairly quick due to short-term trades. However, fast money isn't easy, right? You can lose money just as fast as you make money, but it's kind of about the consistency of making that money. Now we got day traders. They are also a type of short-term traders. Day traders may hold their positions day to day. Some cases it may be within the day, you know, hour to hour. And day traders typically execute a relatively large amount of trades to capitalize within the day. They focus on technical analysis rather than fundamental analysis because they're looking at the charts, the patterns, maybe it be news as well to make their decisions rather than looking at the fundamentals of the asset. So when you think about long term, they're probably looking more about, hey, will this asset appreciate due to its utility, due to its use case, due to the fact that it needs to be adopted. Short term, they're looking at, hey, in this short term within the day, is it looking to go down or up depending on news, depending on how the candlesticks look, depending on volume, right? So these are different things that these short-term people are looking at that long-term position traders, they don't really look at. Let's talk about this, taking action. This is huge. I'm glad that you're in here grabbing this information, but that is not enough to make you successful. You have to take action. The best way to get better at anything is through practice. So I want you guys to take this information, utilize it. Don't just keep it in your head, because if you keep it in your head, guess what? The money's not in your head. It's out there in the world. So utilize that information, practice. You know, you can make a practice portfolio. You can make a practice account in order to utilize the information without having to risk money. So you can utilize that. It's called a demo account, paper trading account. Do something like that. You got compound interest. What this is basically when your money makes money, and because you're keeping it in that asset, it's going to continue to make money. So your money is making money, which is making money, which is making money, right? So it's compounding on top of it. And that starts to take effect as soon as you start to invest. Let's talk about the number one regret of investors. This is pretty crazy. It's the fact that they did not start earlier, right? Because of compound interest, because of the fact that you need to practice, the sooner you start, the faster you start seeing results. And then the faster you start seeing results, guess what? The faster compounding is going to start to take effect. If you're young, you definitely need to take advantage of this, because later on, it's going to be making so much money you don't know what to do with. Let's talk about the next step, which is continuing to further your education. The cryptocurrency space is new. It's not static. It's constantly evolving and getting better. So you don't want to come in here with just the knowledge you have and expect it to take you wherever you want to go. I want you guys to continue to have your ear to the ground, continue to ask questions, continue to use mentors, continue to use us in order to further your education, because things are constantly changing. Things are constantly getting better. Sometimes things get worse. So you don't want to be holding onto an asset that is just not doing well. So understanding that this is evolving and that you need to evolve with it. And going into the furthering your education portion, we want to talk about one way that you can do it as well, right? If you're looking to become an expert at trading, trading is what I was talking about before, swing trades, day trades. You got scalpers. All these people are traders, and they're making money actively rather than passively. You got traders and investors. Traders are looking to become money makers within the market. Statistics show that less than 1% of the population actually participates in financial markets, and they're one of the biggest sectors out there. So if you're not participating, guess what? You're just on the sidelines, not making money. So if you want to learn how to actively make money in the markets, if you see yourself as a digital entrepreneur, if you wish to become a part of a community filled with multi-million-dollar mentors and mentors like me, then I think I have a spot for you. If you are interested in any of these different things, I want you guys to click the application below. We're going to post it, and you guys can take that application, go in, answer those questions, and we'll hit you back with an answer whether this could be a fit for you. You do not need any experience because we provide the education. And ultimately, if you're a good listener and you can follow instructions, you can do this. If you're not really looking to listen or really be taught, then I would say maybe try somewhere else. But you do not need any experience. You do not need any technical knowledge because we provide that education for you. Fill out that application to see if the job opportunity is a good fit for you. Also, we have multiple sources of social media that you guys can come into and really explore. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Discord. The Discord is going to be exclusive to the people who get our course, which is going to be next. So if you want to join that, I would say, send us a DM. We'll get you guys that information. We also have our podcast experience, which can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Check us out there, all at the Masternodes. Our website's going to be www.themasternodes.com. Free information, free testimonials, understand what we're doing and why we are doing it. As always, you can follow my brother at Rye the Crypto Guy and me at The Bag Chaser for any personal questions that you guys want to ask. Now, let's talk about something amazing and super exciting that we are going to provide for you guys. It's going to be an interactive crypto course, right? Some of the topics that we're going to explore in this course. What is cryptocurrency? Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoins, NFTs. We got security, wallet basics, earning passive income in this space. A lot of people don't know that there's multiple streams of income in the cryptocurrency markets. We're going to teach you how to access those. And we're going to talk about ways that you can get started within the space using low risk and great information. Let's talk about our packages, right? Within the basic package, it's going to come with 4 hours and more of content. It's going to be video content. It's going to come with quizzes and things so you can really lock in and understand the space. It's going to come with a one-on-one strategy call with either of us, either of the master nodes, and a chance to win a Ledger S Plus. So that is only for a limited time. So I would check the link below and really kind of make the decision for yourself. We're also going to give you within that basic package exclusive access to our Discord channel. Not everybody has access to it, but we do give access to money makers and people who are interested in really exploring the space. Within there, it's going to come with an FAQ section, a lot of frequently asked questions about cryptocurrency. We're going to be dropping news for you guys. We're going to be dropping market rundowns and so much more. It's really a place where you can plug into our community and, be around people who are also with that same goal and same mindset. We got crypto investing secrets, which is going to be a bonus for you guys just for being a part of it and buying our package. We're going to give you that extra bonus content for you. Now we have our premium package. This is for real money makers who are really excited about the cryptocurrency space. It's going to come with more bonus content, Crypto 2.0 bonus, 5 things you need to know. So this course right here is going to be addition to that. You got that extra Ledger S entry, and then you got an hour strategy call with us rather than 30 minutes. This is really an opportunity for you guys to dive in head first and understand how this all works. With our interactive course, we're going to basically give you, all the information you need to get started. And we also are going to have our ebook on there for sale. If you want to deepen your understanding of this amazing new asset class, this book is going to serve as a comprehensive guide to surviving and thriving in the cryptocurrency space. This information is meant to empower you and help you to make informed decisions when investing. All this information can be accessed. All you have to do is click the link and we'll give you guys all the information you will need to become a successful crypto investor. As always, we appreciate you guys for being on, watching our content, and have yourselves a great day. Try your best to choose kindness.